Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Rant Squad. I am the Water Dog. This is
Menard.
And our buddy Clint is taking care of himself. He's doing vacation time, brother. And we are doing our fantasy standouts in the current standings. Brendan is still in first place at 23 points, followed by Clint at 18. But I did make up some ground this week. I got myself 4 big points because my man Saquon was the high point man. That gave me that big 3-point bonus right there. And I got myself 4 points, and I got myself up to 15 to be slightly competitive.
Yeah.
To be slightly competitive. So there you go. So that's the standings, brother. Clint was able to pick up 2 points with Jesse Bates and Jalen Hurts, and Brendan got 2 points with Jesse Bates and Travis Kelce. And then I've got 4 points with Saquon Barkley being the high point man in the running back position. And I did still win with Drake London, even though he got hurt in the first quarter.
It was crazy. I thought Chase was going to win this.
And he did not score anything. But I really was high on. If Drake London hadn't got hurt in that game, I'm telling you right now, I have a strong feeling he would have been the high point man because they were on a roll with him.
But my thing is, I'm watching it. London gets hurt. Brown gets hurt. I'm like, oh God, Chase just gets a touchdown. You know it's coming at some point. They're just having their way with the Raiders.
And Burrow was throwing to everybody but him. Everybody but him.
Even the Raiders. They even gave the Raiders a touchdown more than Chase.
All right, let's get started with our picks, brother. These are Clint's picks in these categories. You're looking at his IDP, Brian Burns. You're looking at his tight end, Jake Ferguson. His running back's Breece Hall. His wide receiver pick is Deebo Samuel, and his quarterback pick is Brock Purdy. Much to your chagrin, he's going back with his stack of wide receiver quarterback. That'll make you happy.
I understand the strategy. I don't know. I feel like if it hits, it hits. But if it don't, you're losing out on 2 positions right there.
Okay.
And, you just have it, Burrow, everybody else. But Chase, if you have the stat, I don't know.
All right, well, let's do it to it, brother. Let's go with the IDP, and I'm going to start I'm getting a little risky with this game. I picked the Jets to win the game against the Cardinals, but I'm going to take Bubba Baker because I do believe the Jets are going to throw the football a lot more. Devontae Adams is into the system now a lot more. That means, we're going to see some Bubba Baker here and there, on coverage with Devontae Adams. And, Aaron Rodgers has not been as pinpoint accurate as he's been in the past. We kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. And I do believe I see a couple of picks, and the way Bubba Baker is playing, there could be a pick 6, which would make you very happy, in his fortune. And I do believe if the Cardinals have a chance to win this game, which I don't think they are going to win, but if they do have a chance, I do believe it's going to have to come from the defensive side of the football, where the defense is going to have to score. And if that's the case, I'm thinking Bubba Baker is the guy to get the pick 6 to do it to it. Who you got?
So this is very interesting because I don't really know the update on this. But I am going to take Brian Branch for the Detroit Lions against the Houston Texans. But if Branch doesn't play, because I don't know if he's out a game or whatever for the ejection against Green Bay, and it would be Kirby Joseph. So it's going to be a Detroit secondary guy. There's going to be, I think, an interception in this game that Stroud's going to throw. I think it's going to go to Branch.
So for our scoring purposes, the official choice is Brian Branch.
Yeah. But like I said, I don't know. According to Sleeper, which is what we play on, he's projected to score points.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really updated on what the league has done or if he was just that game. But Brian Branch, I just think there's going to be an interception. He's a really good player. He's going to make a lot of tackles, and I think he's going to get the interception, which will really put you defensively over the top.
Okay, let's go to the tight end position. And this is very simple for me. I saw Travis Kelce and what he did here on Monday night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. San Francisco's playing Tampa Bay. George Kittle right now has been the best tight end in football. I'm going to take George Kittle.
Yep. So I'm kind of on the same boat with you, actually. And the reason I'm going for it is for that reason about Kelce, but also in our scoring system that we base this on, George Kittle has had 3 games all year under 13 points. I feel like that's pretty safe for a tight end.
Well, he's getting the yards. And so, in the scoring system that we're using, it's basically yards for him. It's, we're not doing a PPR.
Yep.
That's a whole other different type of system. But, this is basically, what you are producing. This is a production system.
And so I just see that 3 games under 13. I just seen what Kelsey did to him. I had to go George Kittle.
There you go. Let's go to the running back slot. And, I was mentioning this earlier when we were talking about our game picks. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to just run all over the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, defensive line has just got holes in it. And Michael Parsons, I don't think he's going to be playing again this week. Doesn't look like he's going to be playing again this week. And so I just think the Eagles are going to run all over him. And I'm going to take Saquon Barkley for 2 weeks in a row. It's unlike me to do that, but that's what I'm going to do. What you got?
Once again, I'm right on board with you with Saquon Barkley.
Quit reading my notes.
No, we made these picks way earlier than this, but my reasoning for picking Barkley, all those years with the Giants, and he just got beat by Dallas. And in 2023, 6.3 fantasy points, and then 6.1 fantasy points. And this just has a feeling of, you've been beating me up all this time, and now I got the better team, and I'm going to go score a lot of points on you. And so I look at Saquon Barkley being the number 1 running back this week as it's not only a revenge rivalry game, but I think it's personal. Right? All them years in New York, and the Giants and the Cowboys, and they just were able to suffocate him, and they can't do that anymore.
No.
And so I think Saquon Barkley, for another week, number 1 running back.
All right, let's go to the receiver position. And, I'm just looking at really a disappointment this year. That's the Jacksonville Jaguars. And defensively, they've just been, disappointing. There's so many holes on that team defensively. They can't seem to make plays on the offensive side when they need to. They turn the ball over when they don't need to. And I think that's just going to fall into the hands of the Minnesota Vikings. And I think the Vikings are just going to blow up. And I think this is a Justin Jefferson game. I think this is a 2-touchdown Justin Jefferson game. And so that's where I'm leaning. I'm going to go with JJ, brother. Who you got?
Well, we're going down the ship with you. So this is crazy, right?
Clint, if you're watching this video.
I had these picks before we showed up today. Okay? But this is the reason I'm taking Jefferson.
Okay.
This is projected scoring now with our point system.
Right.
Nico Collins is projected to be number 2. He's coming off of that injury. I don't think he's going to have that big of a game. Number 3 is A.J. Brown. Kind of hurt. We don't really know against Dallas. I think Saquon will have a big day. He's not going to have that big one. Tyreek Hill versus the Rams. The Rams have a great defense, so he might have a little bit. I don't think the number 1 slot. Jamar Chase versus Baltimore. He's not going to have the opportunities because Baltimore is going to control that clock, control that game. And from what we've seen last week, even when the Bengals are rolling, he's not going to be getting it. When we go to number 6, we got Puka versus Miami, maybe, and then Debo versus Tampa. I'm going to go with the George Kittle matchup. So just looking at this, Justin Jefferson versus Jacksonville to me is just screaming that he's going to be number 1 on matchup reasons for this. And that was the number 1 thing I seen. I just looked at all those receivers, who they're playing, and said Jacksonville against Jefferson, that's probably going to be your number 1 guy.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Let's go to the quarterback. And for all the reasons I was talking about earlier when we were talking about the Dallas Cowboys, they can't stop the run. The secondary has been weak, and this is going to be a tailor-made game for Jalen Hurts. I just think the Eagles blow up in this game. I think this could get really ugly over there in Dallas. And the way Hurts is playing, Hurts is just playing really determined football right now. And I can see him easily, getting a touchdown on the ground, maybe two air, either way, either 2 on the ground or 2 in the air and 1 the other way. But I do think it's a 3-touchdown Jalen Hurts game. And if he gets 100 yards rushing, which wouldn't surprise me, that's just going to kick into a bonus for him. And so I got to go Jalen Hurts. Who you got?
Okay, so this week, I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson versus Cincinnati. And the reason I'm going to do that,
good pick.
In 2023, at Cincinnati, 26 points. Mm-hmm. Cincinnati goes to them, 27 points. In 2024, he put up 42 points. I don't think 42 points, that's a lot to ask, okay?
But 30's not out of the question.
And that's what I'm saying. When you have such a low floor the last 2 seasons against a team, if he gets you between 30 and 40, I think he's the number one quarterback.
He was my second choice. And I was really leaning maybe possibly taking Lamar Jackson. But the only thing that kept me from that is that Cincinnati's got to have a win here. And so I do think that the defense is going to step up a little bit more than they have in the past. I do think that's a game that's going to come down to the running game. And so I just don't think that he's going to have that 30-point game that he typically has. On the other hand, I think Hurts is going to fall at a minimum 25 points. At a minimum 25 points in the Dallas game. But this being, a really crucial division game up there in the North, I just don't think Jackson's going to hit that.
So when I was really kind of looking at this at Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry's going to get a touchdown. That's bring that one to the bank. He's going to get a touchdown. But it didn't hurt him the first time. 42 points. Okay, give Derrick Henry a touchdown.
Yeah.
And so I just think having such a low floor in the last 2 years against this team and a great ceiling, he'll be in the 30s, I think. And so I'm just going to take my gamble that the reason I didn't take Hurts is because I took Barkley. And if the run's not screens, that's going to hurt his overall point numbers. And I think where here, you could make the same argument with Derrick Henry, but he's proven Derrick Henry can get his, and Lamar Jackson's still going to get his.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson in this one.
All right, brother. Well, that's who we got. That's what we got happening, man. I hope your fantasy weekend goes good. We're going into Week 10. There's going to be some really, really important games coming up. I really think that when you look at the right here, the Thursday night game, Cincinnati-Baltimore, that's going to be a pivotal game. That San Francisco-Tampa Bay game. Probably the game I want to watch more than any other game is Pittsburgh-Washington. To me, that's going to be the game to watch this week. I think that's going to be the funnest game to watch. And so, a lot of good games. Hope your fantasy weekend goes good. We're the Rant Squad. I'm the Water Dog. This is
Menard.
And our buddy Clint Jordan. He's hopefully watching us right now. Okay, y'all take care. We are out of here.